How you doing, everybody? This is an Umarex Ruger 1022 air rifle, and I've had it for about a year now. I bought it last year, and I've always looked for videos on YouTube on how to disassemble it and possibly do power upgrades. But till this day, I haven't found any videos at all on YouTube or anywhere on the internet. So I decided to take it upon myself to take it apart and figure out how it works, and see if there's any possible way to make it shoot harder, or just do any power mods. So after tinkering with it, I think I've figured out how to make it, how to do mods on it, on the valve. So I'm just going to make this video to show everyone how to disassemble this and how to get to the valve, how to open the valve, and possibly make adjustments. So it's pretty simple. All you're going to need is these basic tools. Obviously a screwdriver with a Phillips head. This is a number 2. You're gonna need a number 1 Phillips head. A small pointy device. It could be anything, just to punch out the pins. These pins right here. And a pair of needle nose pliers. And 2 small screwdrivers, a Phillips and a flathead. This thing here, I just keep it handy just in case I need something pointy. So basically, this is the first thing to do is to get this off. That's easy. You just use a hex. This is a size 3 hex. Take this off. You just kind of like stretch it open and then pull it off like that. And keep the screw together with it. Next step is to unscrew this Phillips screw right under here. For that, I use the number 2 Phillips head for that screw right there. Just take that off. Put that to the side. And next step is to, actually I forgot the first 2 most important steps, is to remove the magazine, obviously. And also make sure there's no air, no CO2. So you want to take this off. Okay. Then, once we get to this point, we can, sorry about my camera setup. This is just very homemade setup here. I'm not a professional recorder or a YouTube video maker. So you're gonna need something pointy to punch out this pin right here, and you have to do it from the left side of the gun to the right. So you can't punch it out from this side. You have to punch it out from here, from this side, the left side of the gun. So I just basically put that there, tap it out like that, and you'll see that it comes out right there on this side. You can just pull it out with the needle nose pliers. Put that to the side. See, it goes in there. Alright, so at this point, you're basically ready to pull this, the top part of the gun away from the stock. So all you have to do first is put the safety in the middle. So you just push the safety so it's right in the middle. And then this will pop up like this. And it'll come right out. Like that. You can put the stock over there to the side. And basically I like to work on it from this side with the charging handle facing upwards so that it's not like in the way back there. So I'll just try to zoom in here a little bit. Okay. So the first thing I do is I take this little plate off right here, and there's one screw holding it, which is this right here. Just take that off. Make sure you don't lose this little tiny screw. What I do is I keep it with this piece. I just keep it together so that I know it goes there, because you can get these screws confused. Then the next step is to unscrew this barrel. This holds the barrel in place. It's like a square plate, and it has two screws. It just holds this barrel. It holds it down. So take these two screws off. And when you take this off, just take note of which direction it goes in. I noticed that it has some numbers there, so that those numbers just go facing towards the front of the gun, the front of the barrel. So that's the way you'll put it back. And I just keep it like this, and I put it to the side. Then the next step is to punch out this pin right here. And that pin, you have to punch it out from this side over here. From the left side of the gun. And I use this little Allen key. And it comes out very easily. Take that off, put it to the side. Now those two pins that we took off, those are the only two pins you'll have to take out. And they're both different sizes. One is smaller than the other and thinner, so you can't get them confused. So you can just put them together, or however you decide to make it, organize it. Then at this point, you can take the barrel off. So all you have to do is tilt it up like this from the back, and just pull it forward, and it'll come right off. There. And that just stays like that. I did notice that my spring went flying. I'll show you where the spring goes. I've already done this a bunch of times, so I know where everything goes. This spring just came out when I pulled the barrel off, but it just goes right here. Right there. And that is the spring for the charging handle. See? Okay, so anyways, that's the next piece that has to come off. So charging handle, you just pull it off, and the spring will be under it. Just take the spring out like that. Okay, now the next step is to remove the safety button, because that will be in the way. You won't be able to get this plastic, the trigger, what do you call this? Trigger guard. You won't be able to get it off unless you get the safety button off. So I use this little tiny Phillips screwdriver and unscrew that screw right in the middle, and just it comes apart like this. See? And then you can push it from this side and take out the other side of it. And I just keep it together like that, just so I won't lose it. Keep it together and put it to the side. Now you can take this plastic thing off, the trigger guard, and just pry this up a little bit right here, plastic, and comes out right like that. See? That's it. Okay, now you have this. Basically, we're almost there. The valve is right inside here. All we have to do is take this screw, and 1, 2, 3, 4 little tiny screws, and then we can pull this thing apart. So I'll just take these 2 big ones off first, right here. Okay, and this one. Okay, now there's 4 little screws that have to come off. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'll point those out right now real quick before I take it apart. So it's this one, this one, this one, and this one. Okay, I just leave them in there. Once I get them loose, then I can just pull this apart. Maybe I didn't. Okay, should come apart now, unless I missed something. There it goes. Okay, now you can just take this whole thing off. You don't have to worry. There aren't going to be any springs that fly off or anything at this point. Just make sure you pull it up evenly. Don't pull it up at an angle like this or twist it off. Just pull it up straight like this. Okay, and just leave it like this and put it to the side. So everything in here is right now is the way that it should be. It's supposed to be. Well, like that. Okay, what I do is I take a picture of it when I have it like this to make sure if I forget how to put it back together, I'll have pictures that I can reference. But it's really simple to get to the valve. The valve is right here. So first you have to take this off. This just comes up like this, just lifts off. There's nothing holding it. Then there's the hammer right here, which goes on that, just on that spindle right there. So I just pull that up, and you don't have to worry. The spring is captured in there. It's not going to come out unless you pull it off. And that's it. Now you can get to the valve. This comes off. So be careful with this tube right here. This is the air tube that comes from over here where the CO2 container is. And then the air goes in through this pipe, and it goes into the valve through there. So I'll show you. I just basically pull it up like this. Don't pull it too high. Just enough so you can pull it off like that. There. And be careful because there's a little O-ring right here that goes in here. Okay, so there's an O-ring in there, and inside here. So anyways, basically this is the valve. Okay, and the way it works is when it's right here, the hammer is here. The hammer cocks back and then it goes forward and it hits this part. It hits that little metal piece right there. Hits that and it pushes it in. And then the air goes from here and it allows it to go in there. So right here, there's a little restrictor inside here. If you take off the O-ring, there's a little brass piece in here. See that? And it has a little tiny hole in it, which, you know, lets the air go through. Let me see if I can see it better with the light. There. So, in there. So if you take that out, you see how tiny that hole is for the air to go through? Now watch when I take it out. See that? When you take it out, this is what it looks like now. It's nice and clear. A big hole where air can go through. Right? So that's one thing you can do to make it more powerful, to get more air to go through. Second thing you can do is I just use a pair of needle nose pliers and to get this cap off. And I just put it like this and turn it. It's not that hard to get off. Take this off. Okay, inside is just the cap, right? There's nothing else that falls off, just the cap. And this right here, there's nothing else in there. This is how the air goes through. So the air goes in through here. Through these three little holes. When the hammer hits this, it pushes the spring, pushes this down, and it moves that piece away from the O-ring. So the air is able to go inside there and go through these three little holes and then come out through the front right here where the pellet is, and then it pushes it. So you could potentially drill these three little holes and make them bigger to get more airflow. Personally, I ended up not doing anything because this is actually just a gun that I use for plinking. It's not nothing that I'm going to use for hunting or anything. I do have other air rifles that I have modified and made them very powerful. So for this one, I decided that I'm just going to leave it blank, like stock basically. But yeah, like you could modify it if you want to. I might do it in the future if I change my mind, but for now I'm just going to leave it stock. So yeah, so you could drill those three little holes out, make them bigger, and that other piece that I told you about, you could, this just goes back in like this. Okay, put that there. Put the cap back on. And make sure it's in the middle. And just screw that back on. Alright, so that piece that was in there, took it off. I'm going to put it back because I'm just going to keep my gun stock. I did do it before. I took it off and I put the gun back together and I shot it, and it did have more power. I was able to shoot through 2 soup cans, like put together. Normally it would only shoot through like 1 soup can maybe sometimes, but when I took that off, I was able to shoot straight through 2 cans. So it does give it more power. But you know, on top, whenever you do things like this, you always also lose more CO2. You know, you don't get as many shots as if it was stock. So that's why I'm leaving mine stock, because I want to get more shots, because this gun is just for shooting cans and stuff. But if you want more power, then yes, do this. All right, so that's the valve, and that's basically it. That's how you take it apart, and that's how you get to the valve. I'm going to cut this video off right now because it's already 20 minutes long, and I'm going to make a quick video on how to reassemble everything, and that'll be a separate video. Okay, so if you have any questions, just post them down in the comment section, and I will respond as soon as I can. Thank you for watching, and I hope that this video helps other people out there that have this same gun and they just want to tinker with it. Okay, thank you for watching. Bye.